Afternoon, everybody. I normally save these videos for the Social Housing Roundtable group, but did want to share this one more openly. Firstly, want to talk about all the positives of the roundtable we hosted this morning. Firstly, massive thank you to Hannah Harvey. If you haven't heard Hannah speak, please make sure you get the opportunity to do so. Her knowledge and her skill set and her passion for what she does is absolutely brilliant. And the insights she's able to share today on the LGBTQ plus community and on how we can do better in social housing to empower voices and make the sector more acceptable and more accessible for people was absolutely superb. There will be a full write-up and more details will go into the group, but I did want to obviously send this out now and say a massive thank you to Hannah for joining us despite the issues we had early on. I also want to say a big thank you to Amy Holden, Claire Lawrence, Cordelia Johnny, Hazel O'Halloran, Marie Jenkins, Yasmin Mahmood, and Denise Ward for joining me as well. The insight, the questions, the discussion, particularly what kind of Cordelia was able to share with what was going on over at Stonewater at the moment, and indeed some of our other guest speakers talking about their experiences. One horrifying stat that came out was that 24% of homeless people are in the LGBTQ plus community. That's just not okay. This high sense of identity and education at a young age needs to be overcome now. And I implore businesses to look at the recording of the video we've had today and really look at what you're doing to try and make the business more inclusive. I do want to touch on one other point. You may have seen a post I put up not long ago, which talked about a gentleman who joined the conversation a few minutes in, fired some homophobic abuse towards my guest speaker and then left. What has since become clear and apparent is that that video was a recording of a relatively famous individual in America who was an ex-wrestler. The video then cuts off, he turns his camera off and you hear the homophobic abuse. It is clear that it wasn't him, so I have deleted that post. Further, I'm going to have to be very careful in terms of how these are shared moving forward and who to share the links with, which is very upsetting. I think it will go through a registration process because I will not have abuse on my network. I will not have abuse in the Social Housing Roundtable, and I will not have abuse being fired at any of my guest speakers. That should go without saying, but clearly it needed to be done. That's those posts for today. Hannah, thank you so much for your patience, for your calm, and also for joining me today and being such a brilliant guest speaker. And I look forward to speaking to you all next Tuesday at the next event. Thanks, have a fantastic week, and look forward to speaking to you soon. Cheers.